So my name is Bunny, and I'm the co-founder of Blume. And Blume is the first cohesive line of self-care and period products for girls as they navigate through puberty. And we launched Blume about 2 years ago, and throughout these last 2 years, we've learned so much and gone through so many hurdles and changed the company so many times, and this is the final version of Blume you see now. But we exist because only 24 states in the US mandate sexual education. Meanwhile, Ontario just reverted back to a pre-1999 sexual education curriculum. Additionally, mainstream brands that sell tampons are not required to disclose their ingredients, which means that the tampons that most women use include bleach, dioxins, and pesticides, which are then absorbed into our bloodstreams every single month. So when I launched Blume, I really thought, and my co-founder thought about what our passion was. And our passion is to help women have better periods and have a better relationship with their body while feeling more comfortable in their own skin. Additionally, we want girls and women to have a resource that they can trust, where they can get information and products to learn more about their bodies and be confident in the products that they're using every day and every month. And throughout this journey, we've learned many, many lessons while turning our passion into business. And I'm going to talk about 4 of them today. So the first one is make something people want, as Y Combinator has continuously repeated over and over again. And so since we started, we've always kind of questioned this and said, are we making something people want? And how do we know that we're making something that people want? And, when we think about this, we think about, okay, are people willing to tell their friends about it? We just heard about the 35% referral rate. Those people love it. They want to tell their friends. What would people do without our product? Where would they go? What would they use as their substitute? And lastly, how would people feel if we didn't exist? Would they have another option? Would they be, asking us to come back? And so these are all really tough questions that we are continuously asking ourselves to ensure that we're making something people want. And when we don't know, we ask them. We've interviewed hundreds of customers and potential customers to ask them, what are you really looking for in a product that serves your body and your period every single month? What are the things that you wish were on the market that aren't on the market? And what are the problems with the current options that you have? Additionally, we spent almost 2 years, about 1.5 years, selling third-party products and collecting feedback and data to learn about, what were the scents that people liked in their face creams? What size of tampons did they actually need? Did they need pads and tampons or just one? And, what are the formulas and textures? And we used all that feedback in order to make our own line of 4 self-care products that girls can grow up with and use throughout their entire journey of womanhood. One of the second lessons that we learned is say yes. And this one seems so intuitive because, of course, if you have opportunities that arise in front of you, you're going to say yes to them. Yet, 9 out of 10 times, the opportunities that are the most important to say yes to are way out of our comfort zone. And sometimes saying yes to those opportunities really change the trajectory of your business, and that's what happened for us. So a big example is last year we were invited to interview for 500 startups in Silicon Valley. We were already committed to another accelerator in Canada, and earlier again, as we heard, staying in Canada, it's our comfort zone, it's safe. There's so many reasons to why to accept the accelerator in Canada. And yet we said yes to the opportunity and ended up moving for 8 months to Silicon Valley, which is an experience that really changed the trajectory of our careers, our business, and our entrepreneurship journey. And in that, so many more opportunities came out of it that we never would have expected or never would have had the opportunity to foresee. And, as 2 young girls moving from Vancouver to California, it was a huge change and it was so incredibly scary, but we're so thankful to say yes to the opportunity, and it's taught us to continue, seeking out more opportunities and saying yes to things that are so terrifying but so important. The next lesson that I'm going to share is take advice with a grain of salt. And I think this is something that's so important yet so easy to forget. And what I really mean by this is, throughout my entrepreneurship journey, I've met so many people who are so much smarter than me, built businesses way bigger, have been on this journey so much longer, and they all have so much great advice to share. And yet, as they're sharing this advice, I'm being pulled in all these different directions. Somebody might tell me that what I'm doing is amazing, and somebody else might tell me that it's completely wrong and I need to change everything and start from scratch. And, if you follow every piece of advice that somebody gives you, you're just going in circles forever, and you're not actually making it to point B. And so with this lesson, it's really seeking out advice from people whose ideas you value. And finding a mentor and having people in your network that you can bounce ideas off of and talk about when you are facing hard challenges. But it's also remembering that you're building this business for you. And you are the only person who knows your business as well as you do, and you need to think about your customers and the whole picture. And when you're seeking out advice, by all means be respectful of people's time, but take their advice with a grain of salt and really just extract the pieces that are valuable to you in order to then play them back into your business. And the last piece of advice that I have is to sleep. Entrepreneurship is so closely tied to hard work and hustle and being busy, and there's always a million things to do on the to-do list, and something's always broken and something needs to be fixed, and there's always the next step you can take. And as a founder of a company that one of our values is self-care, it's so important for me to live that. And it's so important to take time off when your body's telling you that you need a break. And it's so important to unwind and unplug and really just take time for yourself when you need it, because, there's way too many people who experience burnout, and it's not something that should be necessary. And for myself and so many people who I'm able to chat with, when you take some time off to unplug and you take an afternoon to do something, outside in the sun, we're so lucky we live in Vancouver that we have awesome hiking and snowboarding and all these great things. I come back to work feeling so much more refreshed and so much more productive and creative. And there we have it. Those are my 4 lessons that I've learned throughout my entrepreneurship journey, and I hope that was valuable to some of you. And if you have any questions, go ahead.
Isn't there any questions for Bunny here? Again, I'm sorry. Okay, yes. This guy's a question guy. I like it.
Hi. Did you find it difficult when you were transitioning from third party to your own manufacturing?
Yeah, I mean, it was like we said, we did it for a year and a half. So throughout that year and a half, we were collecting a lot of feedback from customers, exactly figuring out what it was that they wanted and needed. And we essentially had those customers test the products before we had launched them to get their full feedback. So it was definitely a learning curve, but we worked with really great partners and suppliers that made that easier. And because we had a customer base that we were already selling third-party products to, kind of getting that immediate feedback and being able to iterate on it before we launched our own products was immensely helpful.
Any other questions? Okay. I'm going to go you, and then you here.
Where do you sell your products, and how do I get this bleach out of my...
We sell fully online at meetblume.com.
Amazing. That's good.
Thank you. Great presentation. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good luck on this journey. My question is, where did technology help you?
I mean, I think technology is at the core of our business in all ways. So, every time a customer lands on our website, we're following their journey. Well, even from before they land on our website, but we're following their journey from their first touch point with us online, because we are a direct-to-consumer e-commerce brand, until they drop off on our website. And even further than that, we're then following them essentially all over the internet. So really, we use technology in all ways. Basically, every SaaS website that you can think of, Full Story, Hotjar, all of the analytics, we're using it. Email marketing is one of our biggest channels, digital ads. Essentially, any touch point we can have with a customer online is tracked, and then that data then comes back to us in order to find more customers like that customer and also continue selling to them.
Thank you.
One last question right here.
Do you manufacture the products yourself, or do you outsource it, and where do you manufacture it, if it's okay to say?
We don't manufacture our own pads and tampons. Those are all imported. But the other 4 products in our product line, so we have a natural face wash, a blemish treatment, an essential oil to fight period cramps, and a natural deodorant, are all manufactured by us and our partners.